Hello, old souls. My name is Steph. If you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, we're going to utilize the scrolls today along with some tarot and oracle. And with where Mr. Paranormal Plasma here is, we have Ghost Tube kicking for any audio additions that may further inspire or irritate. Overall, please do receive a release freely. So I want to thank you for being here, for being my muse, and may you meet a message with meaning. When you are ready, let's get rid of that. Get my pen, all that kind of good stuff. Just get ourselves settled here, old souls. If you'd like to close the eyes with me, taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of the aura of old souls. Thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my messages, and may you meet a message with meaning. All right, what do we got here? I'm going to just get these out of my way. See if I can do this. You know the drill as well. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below or keep to yourself.
Criminal.
I get it. Okay, I've got some spicy spirits around me today. When I say spirits, I do mean spirits of the afterworld or the afterlife or the life that continues on after said density that we're familiar with, so we'll see. Access to source. Heart, heart, heart. Okay, I'm holding on to something here. I am a bird. I think. It's funny, as I heard that or said that, I heard, I am an island. I'm holding a toy or I'm holding something that actually has a very large heart aura with it. You could have a parent in spirit. And they've been... Okay, hold on, sorry. Okay, for some you might have a parent that's in spirit that watches over you. Still to this day, doesn't matter how old you are always my child.
Please come back.
And perhaps that you think of them very often and hope for them to come back, to hold you, to talk to. It feels very tangible. Like I feel like I'm aware, but I really miss the tangible experiences and interactions. Okay, I'm going back within myself for a moment, and I am becoming this bird. It feels like a penguin, so a penguin might mean something to you. You might have a partner that is passed, and you have a child, and you see that person. You see your partner in that child every day, growing, being, becoming, and you know the spirit of your partner is with your child. Now, your child could be 79. I'm not looking for an age. I'm also feeling like I'm looking up, almost like in a cross-eyed way, not an eye roll, just up. Something right here. It could be in your third eye area, but I'm also hearing like tension, headaches, tension. I am seeing Sylvester from... or Wile E. Coyote. And you know how, I think it's Sylvester and Tweety bird. So maybe that's the bird. Tweety bird's all grown up now. Again, not looking for an age specifically. And also with, what was the other one I said? I can't remember now. It's gone.
Karma.
It's fine. And the Roadrunner. Is it? Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. And somehow they always get away. The storyline's always... verbatim. It's predictable. Is there a story? Something about a storyline. And suddenly I'm like brought into... I feel like you're very, very loud. Hello, Jim, if the name Jim means anything to you. I'm suddenly like reviewing every movie, every book. Not every, that's being dramatic, but you know what I'm saying. And you can see the same storyline over and over and over and over again, just expressed in its own way, with its own characters, with its own timestamp of where it's focusing. I don't know why that's important. I want to come back, up here to where this... Okay, for some as well, old souls, there is a birth guardian, birth guide that has been with you since you were so young. Well, I guess since birth, but yet I feel like there's a time in your life that you might even be able to recall having interactions with them or hearing them. And they might have come through as like a grandma or a grandpa or a great-great-grandparent. I think they're part of your... Okay, so maybe... Oh, okay, hold on. In order for you to be born, they existed. They're part of your lineage. Please for your leave. Birth to be born. For your born to be birthed. Well, I can't even. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm reaching out to an energy. Sorry, I'll share it right here. I am reaching out to an energy here. I feel like now, wherever I am here and now, I am trying to reach, I want to say back out to them, whether it's a partner, a birth guide, or a grandparent. And I'm sorry that those are like big areas, but it's changing on me and it's jumping really, really quickly. And that's okay. I'm hearing that's okay because it's... They're all somehow related. They're all somehow related. But when I come down here, I'm like, I'm reaching out for this. And you see the hand, like my heart is reaching out, but it feels like this right angle. I don't know if they come through because they're in a different density. Let me wander down here. They have, whoever this is for you, whomever, and it doesn't have to be a person that has passed. But for some it is. For some it absolutely is. It was a partner or a parent or a grandparent, something about, and there's birth involved, whether it's your birth, Shiver. Somebody else, you have a child together. Okay, I'm not going to, you get it, and you can apply and pick out. But there's something common about all that, and it feels like this trifecta of sorts. For the magic of you to be materialized. Thank you. Because they have access to source. Not that you or I don't have access to source. That's not what I'm being asked to focus on. Because that's the language. Okay. They just have different... Rich. While we're living in our material world, paralleling said, same universe, different realm. It appears, and possibly is true, depending on which way I'm looking at it. I'm good, thanks. How are you? Though I may appear very constipated right now, but I'm trying to move through it. Their existence, whether they have transformed through the threshold or have never been incarnate, appears unobstructed to source, unobstructed, where we, or one, through any healings and heartbreaks and the hauntedness and the humor of being human, so beautiful, feels we are in an obstructed, like we're obstructed somehow. There's obstacles, yet also opportunities of said source concept. Insert any word that feels good. And it feels like sometimes it's like at this right angle of a block, and I want to reach out. It's getting closer. For some, this might be in regards to your skills in working with energy. The essence, hold on. Bible. To be, Is that what essence means, or essay, which is funny because essay, or maybe something about the ESSEnes? What is that?
Who are you?
Is that biblically oriented? I'm not really sure. The ESSEnes, but I'm coming into Esse, or
Uncomfortable.
ESSE. It is super uncomfortable, but I'm here and I'm going to go through it. And then I'm seeing it as the way I would say it is essay, and it's funny because I say it to my friends a lot. I'm like, hey, essay. And now I'm realizing, okay. So it feels like we have obstructions or obstacles in connection to said source. Again, please use that term however it feels good. Somebody who's passed, or these guides, guardians that I'm reaching out to, seem to have a little bit of more ease as their existence of where they're at, same universe, is unobstructed. I feel like it's like opening a book. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but here I am. The spine is that right angle, the spine of said book, and I open up and there's 2 pages. And when I put a mirror, like, did you ever do that as a kid? If you're in art class, like, you learn how to trace, and there was like this thing we used to put in between the book
Frightened.
if we were say a picture of a lion, and then we could learn how to draw a picture of a lion, and it would create like I don't know if it's a mirror, is it a reflection? I can't remember what this thing was, but it would like project the lion so I could draw the lion without, do you know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. The lion's there and the lion's here. But it's different. But it's in the same book. The book of love, the book of life. And maybe like this right angle, or this, I can't remember if it was, I just feel I can see it so clearly. I think mine was like orangey or something. And it would, I'm going to say project, but there was no technology to it in the space that we might consider technology. It was just this, anyway, I'm getting stuck on it. It's fine. That thing actually helps. The right angle, the wall, that's not a wall. It's the spine. It's a spine. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I'm going to keep going here. With this Siam or CM, depending on how you look, counterclockwise.
Threat.
Sorry, there's something going on. No, we're there. Okay. Ice cream scoops. I'm seeing. Okay, what's this?
Change.
I'm typing something. But I kind of got like a brace face on. I'm like, not a fake smile, just kind of like, I feel tired here. Maybe it's because I'm going against the current or against the grain, my own grain. Something feels exhausting anyway. Something feels exhausting. Do you know what it makes me feel like? I feel as though I am... Okay. I am a monster. Orc, demon, whatever the case may be. If you can imagine something along that lines, right? And I am bored of being that. I am bored of being that.
Sister.
So now I'm also through that moment, and maybe this isn't for everybody, but I'm going to, thank you for holding space for others. As I say that, and I don't know why it has to be that way, and I'm not saying it is demonic or ugly or gross, it feels like I've cultivated a certain strength there as well. Like it has served to create a strength to stand up for myself. There's camaraderie. There's things. But suddenly now I'm like, oh, it's the same old, same old. Where is this getting me? Where is this going? The perpetual story. Okay, which isn't in and of itself bad, but it's like now I want to change the scenery, people, places, or things, or maybe be in a different character of the story or have a different experience.
What
And
do
then
you
I'm
want?
seeing where those ice cream scoops were. Now I'm seeing them as, I don't know if it's, okay, so deer ears like Bambi, and I'm willing to hear this softness. I'm willing, there's something about gentleness. But it's like I'm scooping out part of my, because it's like I'm scooping or insert a construction buckety
Make a noise.
thing. It's funny when I know words and things, but yet in these moments they do not come forward. And I am like pulling things out of my head, and I'm like, it's like creating when you're like gold mining or whatever the case is, even building a road, and you're pulling things back to uncover other Earth's elements that have been untouched for some time or unseen, and being able to breathe. And I am, excuse me, repaving. I feel like I have a bulletproof vest on.
Are you scared?
No, I'm just a bulletproof vest, but it's something I've acquired when I was this character or this part of me. Something about sprouting. I think I'm sprouting my connection. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm sprouting a connection to source. Okay, so the way it came through is if I was digging or making this road, construction things, and call before you dig, and I get to something and it sprouts, and now all this water is
Listen
coming
to
out.
me.
And I'm like, oh no, oh no. So while I deal with it, but I also find something out. And it like relieves this pressure like a hot day and the sprinkler goes on. And maybe that was actually the pressure I needed to release or relieve. Maybe it appears to be an accident. So when I said call before you dig, it's like the thing they say, like for homeowners, like if you're going to dig on your property or for any lines, gas lines, etc. I hear that you're calling in that reaching out. I want to start digging deeper wherever that is for you. It is green auric space oriented, green ray oriented, or heart chakra oriented. But I feel like what I'm going to say is it's bringing me into the natural landscape, which is more than the material world.
Sit down.
But it's for you to walk it and breathe it here, and you know that. But I'm call before you dig. So call upon your guardians, call upon your guides, call upon your partners, your family, your family. Because you might be in a field, a pasture, this greenery that has pipes and stuff running underneath it, and you are going to cultivate this pasture, this field, into a place where you can, I'm going to say, frolic.
Like.
Gentle gardener. We did talk about gentleness, and you're going to do look at there they are. When you call before you dig, let them know. Maybe you're digging within in yourself, old souls. Digging deeper. Yeah, and they'll go with you. They'll go with you. You're going to find something out if you haven't already. That there's been work happening. Oh, that's incredible. When I follow, I know it's uber tiny. Let's see if I can bring it up without destroying. See right here. So say here's like where this is the surface expression, like, oh no, we've hit something. But did you? Well, you did, but you know what I'm saying? But we go down, we dig. There's somebody with you. I think it might be your spirit guide. There is a grid. But then down here, there's work being done. It's like they're waiting to be exposed and expressed. There is a cross in there, if that means anything to anyone. You know, it kind of gives me like Templar vibes, and I'm not trying to, I don't know enough about one thing or another to say yay or nay, but I'm just putting it out there. It's like X marks the spot. Call before you dig, and then they come and put that spray paint on the grass. And you're like, this is where you're going to build. And you will spread out a little bit, but it'll be a gentle process. Wholesome. See,
Where are we?
Look at that. Cultivating. This is the beloved dead oracle, I believe. You are with me here for Old Souls. It's whole self. Whole harvesting the whole. I don't know what that means, the whole. And remember when we were talking about against the grain? But you harvest the grain. You harvest. You learn as you go, You might be a part of a tribe or have a tribe that is mingles in
I'm not sure
this
how.
right angle space. Like they're in the afterlife. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't need to explain it to you guys. They are in both realms in the one universe. This feels sacred versus like I want to put
Come
these
outside.
two together. Look at all these eggs. And it's like you get to play as kids in this playground. It's almost like a heart tribe. And I'm not one to be all cheesy, but it's, you know what it reminds me of? It's when I can get together with my few friends, but we all know we're all, for the most part, introverted. We all know for the most part, we're not, it doesn't matter what we're not. We know and respect each other has different batteries, moods, cravings. They're going to bring different foods if we're bringing dishes. And it feels welcoming. And then also to be like, hey, this has been great. I'm going to go now. And that's not an insult. It's like, hey, I'm going to go and rest. Or I've been here building and harvesting with you. Or as together, if this is a collective thing within the consciousness. Yeah, okay. And there's no qualm.
Douglas.
It feels okay. Thank you. Thank you for honoring your own battery or your own availability. Okay. It feels nice. So yeah, maybe get together and play cards with somebody as well. Okay, so for something or other in here, if you're already doing this in some way, shape, or form, because your tribe not also may to a point be physical, incarnates, may also be spiritual with your guides or your tribe, and then also digital, right? We can all acknowledge that that's
How did you get here?
another expression of such. And this brings me into that feeling. It's like, oh, you're leaving? Or you're going to go in the middle of the game? Or you're not going to stay and play another game? I don't think you're playing. There's play, but you're not playing with people that are trying to get more out of you than you can give. And that's not because it's a weakness. It's because you have work to do. And sometimes that work is resting. Invisible. And so for some of you, you might feel like your words fall on deaf ears. Active love, do nothing. Yes, sometimes you got to do nothing. Sometimes rest is what you need to do to fill the harvest, to receive the harvest of your battery, of your holistic nature. There's also somebody that views you like, you know, when there's people gathering and then there's the first person that kind of, or the first couple or the first people that kind of break, okay, we're going to go now. And then everyone else is like, oh my God, they're the first ones. And that's not an insult to anything going on. It's,
how do you feel?
and maybe it's like, I want to go home to my animals, or I've been at work all day and then I did errands and then I came home. We had got this together and we got redressed and now we're here and spending a few hours and then we're going to go. It's been a well-balanced day or an outing or a weekend or whatever the case is. I will acknowledge in that moment, as I was saying that, it feels personal, individual, and then I reach out to that right angle wall thing of projection, because I want to go back and like practice my tracing. And that wall, that's not a wall, but that tracy thing it's invisible. Like, you just want to, sometimes you got to put a lampshade on your head and just be like, I'm a lampshade. It's like on, off, on, off, on, off. And sometimes you just got to unplug it and do nothing. Okay. Does this make sense? I feel like I've kind of like wandered off, but I'm going to get ready to close out here, old souls. I hope that you are feeling well. I hope that you are... Okay, sorry, side message. I'm grateful you are here. If you've liked, share, subscribe, all that kind of great stuff. I adore you and you warm my haunted heart. Okay, the invisible is also those in this realm, right? Where it appears to be unobstructed. And I'm not saying that it is or isn't, because I don't know. But I'm just going to say, let's keep it open. It's like they are the invisibles to you. And sometimes they give you signs like a light. You'll see a flash of light or a sign or a symbol. And they are...
Garden.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes you might feel that they're unplugged, or they're not coming, they're not delivering me a message, or I'm not hearing from them. They too might be unplugged, working on, not unplugged in the literal sense that we might think of it, that they're doing nothing. It's like, oh my goodness, I'm not getting a sign from my guide. I'm not getting a sign from whomever. And they're playing with me. And really, they're doing something. And they're looking, they're like, you think I'm not doing anything? You think I'm not helping you? Do you think I'm not helping you? Come on. And they just kind of like, please, I'm helping you right now. And sometimes it brings me into that, is it a meme thing? I don't know all the words, or I think it's a meme thing anyway. And it's like, oh, when you don't answer the email or text from your coworker right away, and then they get back to you 5 minutes later or 10 minutes, they're like, never mind, I figured it out myself. And you're like,
how do you feel?
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Sometimes, by not responding immediately, and I feel like we know this humanly, and maybe because sometimes the signs and symbols are invisible, we might, or they appear invisible from the invisibles. I'm not really sure where I'm at here, that we're not getting a response. But they're like, oh, but you figured it out. You figured it out by yourself that I did. That you, and while one might think, oh, okay, well, I stumbled upon this rock and then I fell and I stubbed my toe. But then when I was sitting looking at my toe, I looked up and then I saw this moment. And I was like, oh, aha, maybe I need to look here, maybe try here. And they're like, that was it. So it's like, I'm not helping you. But I also trust in this space that you will figure it out, that I have. Oh, I feel like I'm all over the place. All right, let's close out here. I have eternal now. I have. I'm hearing like, I'm not playing with you. I have. I send you. But sometimes it's silent. Sometimes, because I exist invisibly per our obstructed universe per se, it can appear like I am non-existing or doing nothing, being nothing. In just the same way, somebody might say to you, oh, you're meditating, or you're resting, or you're sitting, or why don't you come and do this with me? You're doing nothing. I am doing something. The art of nothing.
Disgusting.
Because this is what fulfills the whole self, plugging the whole self in. Plug in, plug out, and then just unplug the whole darn thing. For a harvest, for the whole self, for whatever it is that I'm cultivating or considering in my dreams, in this pasture of perspective, building your own portal, your own pathway. And there's also sometimes too that you are not always available in physical form to be somewhere. So you might say, well, you know what? I can't be there physically, but I can send you $20 so that you can grab dinner. Or I can send you my ladder if you want to grab my ladder so you can use the ladder to help you reach those heights. I have a tool you can use, but unfortunately my time or my energy has already been allocated, or it's placed somewhere else. But that's not, it's like the leaving thing again. That's not an insult. That's not saying you're not worthy, or am I not more important than you doing this? That is a duality of guilt and
Can you hear
punishment and so on and so forth. That's playing in a realm that is imprisonment. Second ray of wisdom and Merkabah spiritual protection. Right from the beginning. See that spirit there? They're there. I don't know if the lighting allows it. There it is. They're like very lime green. As they are around you, your oversoul, I can't even find words. I'm going to go with invisible. They help. They send. And you receive.
Ghost?
And then they watch. You are, but that's okay. That's a beautiful thing to be. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I know it does somewhere along the floor. See, and then it goes from holding it in front of the heart to my hands are freed and it exudes from my whole self. Because I have a whole tribe and I garden gently in this field, this pasture. And my access to source, and whatever that means for me. It's always an opportunity. It's always there. It's always unobstructed. I'm going to leave this here, old souls. I hope this did serve, inspire, or irritate, educate, or entertain. You guys are great. I'm so grateful for you. And I'm going to leave it be for now. But I will see you next week for our message, because I love me some old soul time. It's like a little sacred space. So until then, have a great weekend.